Assalamu alaikum students. So in this video we are going to solve 4024 paper 12 May June 2026. So the paper quality is not up to the mark because this is a scanned copy. Okay, so let's start. So the first question is write down the value of 5 cube. So 5 cube is actually 125 and square root 121 is 11. All right, let's move to question number 2. So in question number 2, buses travel from the city center to the airport. A bus leaves the center at 10:05. So this is basically departure time. The bus journey from the city center to the airport takes 1 hour 25 minutes. So you need to find the time the bus arrive at the airport. You just need to add the time. So let's write it over here. So it's 10:05 and 1 hour 25. So that will be 11:30. So the bus will reach at 11:30. Let's move to part B. Another bus arrives at 16:20. So this is basically arrival time. And this bus takes 1 hour 35 minutes for his journey. This bus takes 1 hour 35 minutes for his journey. Work out the time this bus leaves the center. So you need to find out the departure time. So you need to find out the departure time. So what you will do here, so you need to subtract the journey time from arrival time. So that will be 135. So let's subtract this. So we need to take 1 hour borrow from here. So we need to borrow 1 hour. So that will be 60. So here we have 80 minutes now, and here we have 15 hours. All right. So 10 minus 5 is 5, and then 7 minus 3 will be 4, and this will be 14:45. So this bus leaves the city center at 14:45. Let's move to question number 3. So in question number 3, in first part, we need to find out the median. So first of all, to find out median, we need to arrange the number in ascending order or descending order. So let's do that. So first of all, the smallest number over here is 5, and we have 5 two times over here. So we can write 5, 5. Then we have 1, 2, 3. We have 7 3 times 1, 2, 3, and then we have yes, 10 two times, so 10 and 10, and then we have 11, and then 13, and then 15. All right, now start cutting these numbers. So one from left and one from right. Now, so here we have two numbers at the center. So we need to add the two numbers, 10 plus 7 divided by 2. So that will be 17 divided by 2, and 17 divided by 2 will produce 8.5. So work out mean. So to find out mean, we need to add these numbers. So now let's add these numbers here. So if we add 15 plus 13, that will be yeah, that will be 28. 28 plus 11 will be 39, 49, 59, and then we have 66, and then we have after, if we add 7 in 66, so we'll get 73, and then we have 7 plus 80, and then 90. So now we have, if we add all these numbers, let's write it over here as well. So 5 plus 5 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 10 plus 10 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 over 10. All right, so now we will have 90 divided by 10, so that will be equals to 9. All right, now let's move to the next part. So Anna has 60 cards. So the total cards are 60, and these cards can be red or green. So the ratio of red card to green card is 2:1. So you need to show that there are 20 green cards. So now you can check that. So the ratio is 2:1. So that means the total parts are 3. So the total parts are 3. So we need to find out the green cards. So the ratio, so the green cards carry 1. So that will be 1 upon 3 multiplied by 60. So this will produce 20. So your answer is correct. Let's move to the second part of this question, B part. Let's move to B part of this question. Now in B part, each of the 60 cards is a square or a triangle. So now these 60 cards may be a square or rectangle. So square cards ratio triangle card is given, that is 5:1, and there are 16 green cards. All right, let's look at this table. Now, first of all, you need to find out how many like this ratio is given. First of all, you need to find out how many square cards and triangle cards you have. So the total parts are 6. 5 plus 1 will be 6. Now how many square cards? So the square card carries 5, so that will be 5 upon 6. And how many total cards we have? We have 60 cards over here, so this will be 50. All right, so we have square cards that are 50. All right, so now you can check that if this is 50, and now what we will add over here, so that it becomes 60, so we will write 10 over here. Similarly, this we can easily fill this box as well. How? So we have total green cards are 20. You can check that total green cards are 20, and square green cards are 16. So if we subtract these two numbers, so 20 minus 16, that will be 4. Also, now the total cards are 60 and the green cards are 20. So how many red cards will be there? So if we subtract these values, so that will be 60 minus 20 will be 40. All right, now similarly here we can also check that, so the total square cards are 50 and green square cards are 16. So if we subtract 50 and 16, so we will get the number over here, and that will be and 50 minus 16, that will be equals to, sorry, 34. So 50 minus 16 will be equals to 34. All right, 34. Now how many triangle cards you have over here? So that will be 60. Now let's move to the other question, question number 5. So I will be solving it on paper. In question number 6, parent invests $2,000 in a saving account. So this is the principal amount. This is a starting amount, principal. All right. Now, at the interest rate, that is 3.5% per year. So this is basically rate. So you need to find out the investment at the end of 4 years. So the time over here is 4 years. So let's use the formula for simple interest, that is I is equals to PRT over 100. So now we will have 2000 times 3.5 times 4 over 100. All right, now so you can cut these zeros. All right, so here we have, if we multiply 20 and 4, so that will be 80 into 3.5. So 80 into 80 into 4 will be equals to 320. So 80 into 3.5 will be equals to 280. So this is basically interest. All right, now you need to find out the amount. You need to find out the in value of investment after 4 years. You don't need to find out the interest. So amount will be equals to principal plus interest. So the principal amount over here is 2000 plus interest, so that will be equals to 280. So if we add these values, so this will become 2280. Solve question number 7. So the diagram shows a trapezium. All right, all the lengths are in centimeter. So now the area of trapezium is 100 centimeter square. So the parallel sides are 7 and x, and the height of this triangle is the height of this trapezium is 8. Let's use the formula for area of trapezium. So area of trapezium is 1 over 2 times height times sum of parallel sides. You can say a plus b, or you can say s1 plus s2. Now the area is 100 is equals to 1 by 2 times the height. The height over here is 8, so you will write 1 over 2 multiply by 8 multiply by s1 plus s2. So that will be x plus 7. So we can simplify these two terms over here. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 4 is 8. So now we have 100 is equals to 4 times x plus 7. So 4 is multiplying over here. So if we shift it to other side, so it will get divided. So 100 over 4 will be equals to x plus 7. So that will be 25 is equals to x plus 7. So 25 minus 7 will be x, and that actually produce 18. All right, let's move to question number 8. So Leo has a five-sided spinner numbered from 1 to 10. And Leo spins the spinner 500 times. His results are shown in table. All right. So now you can check that number on spinner one number on spinners. So the one numbers comes out for 105 times, 2 for 96 times, 3 for 95, and you can check all these values. So what we are supposed to do here, so Liu says that the results shows that the spinner is fair. So how can we say the spinner is fair? So basically if we have a like a fair spinner, so we have number from 1 to 5. So one should comes out for 100 times, two should comes out for approximately 100 times. So you can check that all these frequencies are close to 100. All these frequencies are close to 100. So we can write the answer over here. Why the spinner is fair? All frequencies are close to the expected value, that is 100. So you can write this reason. Let's move to B part. So find the relative frequency of spinner landing on 5. So that means you need to find out the relative frequency, that is experimental probability. So the formula for probability is favorable outcomes over total outcomes. So 5 comes out for 100 times. All right, and this spinner is Leo spins the spinner 500 times. So you can write 100 over 500. So that will be 1 over 5. All right. Now, Mary spins this spinner 100 times. Find out the number Mary should expect the spinner to land on 5. So what is the probability and what is the relative frequency of spinner to land on 5? That is 1 by 5. So we'll just simply multiply 1 by 5 with 100. So this will produce 20. All right. So let's move to the next question. That is question number 9. Okay, let's convert these mixed number into proper fractions. So this will be 5 by 3 multiplied by 9 over 10 plus 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 plus 1 is 11 by 5. All right, now we will do multiplication first. So let's do simplification over here. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, so 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. So this will produce actually 3 by 2 plus 11 over 5. Now we need to make their denominators same. So we can simply multiply with 2 over here. We can simply multiply with 5 over here. All right. So now what we are getting from here, so it will be 15 over 10 plus 22 by 10. So this will produce 37 over 10. Now the answer is in simplest form. So now you need to give the answer as a mixed number. All right, so let's divide 37 with 10. So 10 times 3 is 30. So you will have 3 whole 7 by 10. So 3 whole 7 by 10 is your answer in as a mixed number. Now we have question. Let's start with question number 10. So in question number 10, the diagram shows triangle A. All right. So now you need to reflect the triangle in the line y is equals to x. Y is equals to x. So what is the line y is equals to x? Y equals to x is the line that is passing from 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and you can say minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, and minus 2, minus 3, and minus 2. So this is the line that is passing through from all these points. So this is the line y is equals to x. So you can say like roughly this line is over here. And just okay. So the shortcut trick for this part is actually when you need to reflect anything in across y is equals to x. So what you are supposed to do, you just need to swap their coordinates. So let's do that. So the coordinate of this point is minus 1, 1. And if we swap these signs, so this will become 1 comma minus 1. So the point will be over here. So this point will be shifted over here. So now the coordinate for this point is minus 3 comma 1. So this will become 1 comma minus 3, and 1 comma minus 3 will be over here. Now this point will be minus 3 comma 2, and that will become 2 comma minus 3, and this point will be over here. I'm not able to draw the line accurately, just okay. So yes, now you can check that this is the reflection of triangle A. All right, so you can also do with this method. So this point is 1 point, the perpendicular distance of this point from the line of reflection is 1 box, like this. So you can draw it over here. All right, similarly you can check for this point. So this is like 2 points diagonally, and now this point is 2 diagonally. So it's totally up to you. You can do it by your whichever method like you want to use. Let's do 11 question. So in question number 11, you need to write 400 as a product of prime factors. So let's do prime factorization of 400. All right, so now it is divisible by 2. So 2 times 200, and then 2 times 100, and then 2 times 50, and then 2 times 25, and then 5 times 5, and 5 times 1. All right, now how many times 2 is over here? So 2 is 4 times. So you can write 2 power 4 multiplied by 5 power 2. All right, so let's do this B part. So now in B part, you need to find the HCF of highest common factor of 400 and 180. So you also need to do the prime factorization of 180 here as well. So let's do prime factorization of 180. So this will be 2 times 90, then 2 times 45. Then now this number is divisible by 3. So 3 times 15 is 45, and then 3 times 5 is 15, and 5 times 1 is 5. All right. Now let's write these numbers. All right, so 400 is actually 2 power 4 multiplied by 5 power 2, and now 180 is 2 power, sorry, so 180 is 2 power 2, 2 power 2 multiplied by 3 power 2 multiplied by 5. Now in HCF, so let's make the pairs. Oh, so okay, so now we take smaller power from here, so that will be 2 power 2, and we will take smaller power from here, that is 5 power 1. So the answer will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5, and that will be 4 times 5 is 20. So we ignore the non-common factors in HCF. Let's expand the bracket. So we need to rearrange the formula to make M as the subject. So you need to find out, you need to make M as subject. So let's expand the bracket first. So K will be equals to 4M minus 4P. So K plus 4P will be equals to 4M. Now, so K plus 4P over 4 will be equals to M. All right. So now let's move to next question, that is question number 13. The nth term of a sequence is n plus 8. Find the first three terms. So you need to put 1 in the place, we need to find out the first term. So you need to put 1, 2, and 3 in the place of n. So 1 plus 8, 2 plus 8, and then 3 plus 8. So that will produce 1 plus 8, 9, 8 plus 2, 10, and then 11. Now you can check that there are there are the first four terms of a different sequences. So the first term is 4, then 10, then 16, then 22. All right. So now how can what is the common difference here? 10 minus 4 is 6. All right. Now what, write down the term to term rule. So what is the term to term rule over here? So you need to add 6 in the previous term. Add 6 in previous term. All right. Now find the expression for nth term of the sequence T. So what is the first term of this sequence? It's 4, 10, 16, and 22. What is the formula for nth term of this sequence? So this is a linear sequence. You can check that this is the linear sequence. So the formula for this sequence is a plus d into n minus 1. So a is the first term. The first term over here is 4 plus the common difference is 6n minus 1. So you will get 4 plus 6n minus 6. So this will produce 6n minus 2. Okay, let's move to this question. The nth term of another sequence is Rn. So the nth term of another sequence is Rn is equals to Tn into n plus 8. The kth term of this sequence is 5. So now you are given with kth term. Kth term can be any term. So what you are supposed to do, the easiest way to solve this question is just replace n with k. So you can write Rk is equals to Tk over k plus 8. What is Rk? Rk is the kth term of another sequence. Rk is the kth term, and the kth term of the sequence is 5. So you can simply write 5 over here. All right. So now Tk. So just replace n with k. So that will be 6k minus 2 over k plus 8. Put 1 in the denominator, just cross multiply then. So you will get 6k minus 2 is equals to 5 times k plus 8. Just expand the brackets. So what you will get from here, so 6k minus 2 will be equals to 5k plus 40. 6k minus 5k will be equals to 40 plus 2, that will be k is 42. All right, this is your answer. The next question over here is 350,000. You need to write it in standard form. Okay, so 350,000 over here. So you need to multiply it with 10 power 0. That is actually 1. So we can just multiply any number with 1. So we get the same answer. So to convert it into standard form, you need to shift the decimal after 3. So how many digits? I am moving this decimal. So I'm moving this decimal 5 digits. So I would need to add 5 over here. So the answer will be 3.5 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 5. Write 2.7 multiplied by 10 power 4 minus 4 as an ordinary number. So what you are supposed to do, you need to move the decimal 4 digits back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the decimal will be over here. So you can write 0.00027. All right. Write the answer in standard form. All right, so now to add these numbers, so you need to make the power same. So let's make the power same over here. So here we have to let's subtract 1 from this power. So if I'm subtracting 1 from this power, so you need to balance this, you need to move the decimal 1 digits forward. Now you can get 1.3 multiplied by 10 power 12 plus 45 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 12. Now 10 power 12 is common, so we can write 1.3 plus 45 over here. So that will be equals to 46.3 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 12. Just move the decimal over here to convert it into standard form. So this will be 4.63 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 13. All right. Let's move to question number 15. This is related to coordinate geometry. The equation of line L is 2y plus x is equals to 9. So you need to find out the gradient of this line. So how you do that? So you need to make y as subject. And then you will compare with y equal mx plus c. Now, so you will have 2y is equals to minus x plus 19. So I will write x term first. So the comparison will be easy. So that will be minus x plus 19 over 2. Now just separate these terms. So you can write y equal minus 1 by 2x plus 19 over 2. So the denominator is same. So you can combine them or you can write them separately. So we need to compare. So that's why we wrote these numbers separately. So if we compare this with y equal mx plus c. So in the place of y, y. So x and x. So m will be equals to minus 1 over 2. All right. So now write down the y-intercept of line L. So that is 19 by 2. So if we compare C over here, so we have 19 over 2 in the place of C. All right. Let's move to the next question of Question number 15. Line M is perpendicular to line L. So that means the gradient of line M is negative reciprocal of line L. So what is the gradient of line L? So the gradient of this right M is gradient of line L is minus 1 over 2. So what will be the gradient of line M? So that will be negative reciprocal. So that will be equals to M is equals to 2. All right. So we have gradient for the line M. Line M passes through the point -1, -5. So this line is passing from -1 and -5. We need to show that the equation of line M is y equal 2x minus 3. So basically you need to find out the equation of line M. So let's use point slope form over here. So that is actually y minus y1 is equals to mx minus x1. All right. So now what is y1 and x1 over here? So y1 and x1 are the coordinate, sorry, y1 and x1 are the coordinates of the point through which this line passes. So this is actually x1 and this is y1. Let's substitute these. So y minus minus 5 is equals to 2x minus minus 1. All right. So that will be y plus 5 is equals to 2 times x plus 1. So that will be y plus 5 equals to 2x plus 2. So y will be equals to 2x plus 2 minus 5. So y will be equals to 2x minus 3. So this is the exact equation that you are supposed to show that. All right. So you can also solve this question by using y equal mx plus c, like y is equals to mx plus c, like this. So you have the value of y, as you have the value of m, that is 2. You can put the values of these points, this point -1 and -5 over here. Okay, let's do c part of this question. So this is an interesting question. So find the coordinates of the point of intersection of the line 2y plus x is equals to 19 and y equal to x minus 3. So basically we need to find out the point of intersection. So let's suppose you have these two lines over here, any two lines over here. So these are meeting at this point. So at this point, their solution must be same. Their values, their coordinates must be same. So what we will do over here, so you just need to make y as subject here. So this is an equation. So you need to make y as subject over here, and then y is subject over here. Just compare these two equations, and finally you will get the answer. So we already did this. 2y plus x equal 19. So this is equals to y equal minus 1 over 2x plus 19. You can check that over here. We have already done this. So this is equals to y is equals to minus 1 by 2x plus 19 over 2, and y is equals to 2x minus 3. Now the left side of these equations are same, so right side must be same as well. So that will be 2x minus 3 will be equals to minus 1 over 2x plus 19 over 2. So that will be 2x plus 1 over 2x is equals to 19 over 2 plus 3. All right, so make the denominator same over here. So we have 1 in the denominator, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So this will be 4x over 2 plus x over 2. Let's make the denominator same over here as well. 1 multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So this will be equals to 19 over 2 plus 6 over 2. So 5x over 2 is equals to 25 over 2. Just cross multiply. So 10x will be equals to 50. So x will be equals to 50 over 10. That will be equals to 5. All right, so now we got the x coordinate, that is 5. How do we get y coordinate? So we have two equations over here. So you can put the value of x in any equation. So let's put in the other in this equation. So y will be equals to 2 times 5 minus 3. So that will be 10 minus 3. So this will be equals to 7. So 5 and 7 are the coordinates of the point of intersection. So basically, you just need to make y subject over here and then compare. Left sides are same, so right side must be same, and just solve and then get the value of y by substituting the x value. Let's move to question number 16. All right, so ABCD is a rhombus. All right. So this shape ABCD is a rhombus. All right. So now M is the midpoint on DC. So this point is actually the midpoint of DC. All right. AM and BD intersect at X. So you have, so AM and BD intersect at X. Show that given triangle AXB is similar to triangle MXD. All right. Now give the geometrical reason for each statement you make. So basically what you are supposed to show over here, so you need to show that these two triangle AXB and DXM are actually similar. So now you can check that these two angles are vertically opposite angles. So this is the first reason. You need to write three reasons. This is a 3-mark question. So let's write the name of this angle. So this angle is making at X. So this is DXM and this is AXB and these are equal and the reason is they are vertically opposite. Let's write this equation. So DXM is equals to AXB and the reason for this is they are vertically opposite angles. All right. Now you can check that the rhombus have these two pairs of parallel sides. So these two sides and these two sides are actually parallel. So this angle over here, this angle over here and this angle over here. So these angles are forming Z shape. All right. So these are two alternate angles. So you can write ABX. So you can write ABX is equals to XDM. And the reason for this is they are alternate angle. All right. Let's similarly, these two angles are alternate angle. These angles also make Z shape. So the name of this angle is actually BAX. BAX is equals to XMD. So these are also alternate angle. So now let's move to B part of this question. So so M is the midpoint of DC and AB is equals to 8 centimeter. Please look carefully. So M is the midpoint of DC and AB is equals to 8 centimeter. So this, the length of this line actually over here is 8. So this is actually 8 centimeter. So this line must be 8 centimeter and this length will be equals to 4 centimeter. All right, because these two sides are same. M is the midpoint, so this is 4 centimeter and this is also 4 centimeter. Also you have BD that is equals to 15 centimeters. So BD over here is equals to 15 centimeter. We need to calculate the value of DX. Let's find out, because these are two similar triangles, so the ratio of corresponding length must be same. The ratio of corresponding length must be same. So this length DM and AB are corresponding lengths. So we can write that DM over AB is equals to, similarly we can see that XD and X over XB are also same. XD over XB are also same. Let's write out the values. So DM is 4. So you can also write X dx because the, like in the question it is dx, so you can write dx. Okay. So now, so DM is actually 4. So DM is 4 over 8 is equals to dx over xb. And now if we solve this, so you will get 1 over 2. So you can write dx ratio xb is equals to 1 ratio 2. All right. Now, what is the length of d? What is the length of BD? So the length of BD is actually 15 centimeter. So the length of BD is 15 centimeter, and this length is divided in ratio 1 ratio 2. You can check over here. So now, so to find out dx, so dx will be equals to 1 upon 3, because the sum of ratio is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 1 over 3 multiplied by 15. So that will be equals to 5 centimeters. So hopefully this makes sense. Okay. Now let's move to C part of this question. So in C part of this question, you have uh, area of triangle AXB ratio area of triangle MXD is equals to what? So now the ratio of area is equals to ratio of length square. All right. So now the area A1 over A2 will be equals to, so AXB. Let's take any length of AXB. So the length of AXB. Let's take this length. This is 8 centimeter and this is 4 centimeter. So you can write 8 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 square. So this will produce 2 ratio 1, and that will be 4 ratio 1 actually. All right. Let's solve question number 17. So, so in question number 17, in a right angle triangle, so basically you have a right angle triangle. All right. The base is x centimeter. Let's draw a triangle over here. All right. So now let's draw this again. Now the base is x centimeter. The height is 7 centimeters shorter than the base. So this will be x minus 7. The hypotenuse is 2 centimeters longer than base. So this will be equals to x plus 2. All right. What you are supposed to do using this information, so you need to show that this equation forms. Now, so in right angle triangle, we can only apply Pythagoras theorem, right? So because we don't have any angle, so you can simply use Pythagoras theorem over here. So what is hypotenuse? So hypotenuse over here is x plus 2. So you can write x plus 2 whole square is equals to x square plus x minus 7 whole square. Let's do this. So let's expand this. So this will be x square plus 4x plus 4, and this will be equals to x square plus x square minus 14x plus 49. So hopefully you are you know about you know how to expand the bracket, so that's why I'm doing it quickly. So now on the right side you can simplify this, so that is 2x square minus 14x plus 49. And let's shift these sides over, these things over here, so that will be x square minus 4x minus 4. So this will actually produce 2x square minus x square is x square, minus 14x and minus 4x is minus 18x, and plus 49 minus 4 is, oh sorry, so now plus 49 minus 4 is actually plus 45 is equals to 0, and this is what you are supposed to show in this question. All right. Let's move to this part. You need to solve this by using factorization. So what is the coefficient of x square over here? So the coefficient of x square over here is actually 1. So you need the factors of 45 that produce 18. So the factors of 45 that produces 18 are 15 multiplied by 3. So if you use these numbers, so that produce 45. Also if you use minus 15 and minus 3, so that will produce minus 18. So you can use this factor. So x squared minus 3x minus 15x plus 45 will be equals to 0. So now you can take x common from here. So that is x minus 3 minus 15 is common. So you can write x minus 3 is equals to 0. So x minus 15 into x minus 3 will be equals to 0. So x minus 15 is 0 and x minus 3 is 0, and you will get x equal 15 and x is equals to 3 from here. Now let's find out the next part, that is the area of triangle. So the area of triangle is 1 over 2 times base times height. So 1 over 2 times base times height. So what is base of this triangle? So that is x, and what is height? That is x minus 7. Now we have two values over here. So which value you need to take over here? So actually uh, x minus 7 is the height. So if you put 3 over here, 3 over here, so 3 minus 7 is minus 4. So this point is not possible over here, because the length cannot be negative, height cannot be negative, so you need to use 15. So you can write 1 over 2 times 15 times 15 minus 7. So that will produce 1 over 2 times 15 minus 7, that is 8. So 2 times 4, and then you have 60 centimeters square as your answer. All right, so now let's move to next question, that is question number 18. So in this question, you are given with the masses of 200 apples. So you have total 200 apples. So this is the given data. So find the percentage of apples with a mass greater than 110. So these are two like, so these two values have actually mass greater than 110. So 110 till 120 are 80. So the masses of 80 apples are from 110 to 120, and 120 to 140 are 40. So basically we have 120 apples that have mass greater than 110. All right, so now, but how many total apples we have here in this question? So we have actually 200. Now we need to find percentage, just multiply it with 100. So 0 can be cancelled with 0. So this will be 60%. All right, let's do next part. On the diagram, draw a histogram to represent the information in the table. All right, histogram. And for histogram, you can check that on y-axis you have frequency density. So yeah, that means you need to find out frequency density. For this question, you need to find out frequency density. And frequency density is what? Frequency over class width. So we need to find out frequency density. Sorry. We need to find out frequency density. So the first interval over here is, let's write it down. Let's zoom out this. So the first interval is from 80 to 100. So 80 to 100, the frequency is 30. And what is class width? So 100 minus 80 will be the class width, and that is 20. So you can write 30 by 20, and that will produce 0. So 0 can be cancelled with 0, and 3 over 2 is actually 1.5. So from 80 till 100 we have frequency density 1.5. Now from 100 till 110 we need to find out frequency density, and density is frequency, that is 50 over class width. How do we find out class width? 110 minus 100, so that is class width actually. So this will be 50 by 10, so that is 5. Let's do for the next part, next value. So that is 110 till 120. So the class width is 10. 80 by 10 will be 8. And then you have 140, 120, and then you have 40 by 20. Yes, and that will be equals to 2. And this thing is from 120 till 140. Let's draw the histogram now. Okay. So from 80 till 100, you have frequency density 1.5. So you can check that. So this graph is actually like, the quality is a bit low. So you have 0 over here and you have 1 over here. So there are 5 boxes. So 1 divided by 5 is 0.2. So basically one value is representing 0.2. So this is 1.2, this is 1.4, and this is exactly 1.5. So we have 80 till 100. So let's do this. So 80 till 100 we have 1.5. This is 1.5. Now from 100 till 110, so you have 5. All right. Now for 100 and 110 till 120 you have 8. And now from 120 till 140 you have 2. All right. Let's solve question number 19. So this is 6 mark question. You can check over here. Yes. So this is very interesting question. Okay. So now in the diagram you can check that you are given with the solid hemisphere and the solid cylinder, and all the lengths are in centimeter. The radius of hemisphere is 3x. The radius of cylinder is 2x. The height of cylinder is kx. All right. The volume of hemisphere is equal to the volume of cylinder. So that is keyword over here. So actually this is the combination of algebra and mensuration. So let's do this. So the first thing that we are given is the volume of hemisphere is equals to volume of cylinder, and we need to use this thing to work out the total surface area of the cylinder. And how do you answer for the surface area? You don't need to use the value of pi, so you should have x square in your answer, and you also have a, and a is what? A is any integer, any value, any number. Now let's use this keyword over here. So the volume of hemisphere is equals to the volume of cylinder. So why we will use this? So we will actually use this, you will learn later on, to find out the value of k actually. All right, so let's do this so that you can understand better. So the volume of the cylinder is pi times radius square times height, pi r square h. So what is the radius of this cylinder over here? So that is 2x. And what is height over here? So that is kx is equals to volume of hemisphere. So the volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cube. So you can check on the formula sheet. So it's 2 by 3 pi times r cube, and in the place of radius we can write 3x cube because the radius is 3x. Now let's solve this. Pi times 4x square times kx is equals to 2 by 3 times pi times 27x cube. Now if we solve this, so we can get 4 pi kx cube. So here you can write 4 as it is, pi as it is, then you have k, and then x square and x will make x cube. Let's do simplification over here. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 9 is 27, and 9 times 2 is 18. So this will be equals to 18 pi x cube. So now cancel out the things. So pi and pi will get cancelled over here, pi and pi. And now you have x cube on the both sides. So x cube and x cube can get cancelled. So now you have 4k is equals to 18. So k will be equals to 18 by 4. So if we do simplification over here, so that will be 9 over 2 is equals to 4.5. So 9 over 2 is equals to 4.5. Let's do this now. So we have the value of k. Now you need to find out the total surface area of the cylinder. So what is the surface area of cylinder? So on cylinder you have two circles, and the area of circle is pi r square. Pi r square. And what is the radius of this cylinder? It's 2x. So you can write pi times 2x square plus pi times 2x square plus 2 pi rh. So what is the value of r over here? So that is 2x. And what is the value of h over here? That is kx. All right. So you can, so that so the surface area of cylinder, let me write it. It's It's pi r square plus pi r square plus 2 pi r h. You can check on marking scheme as well. So the radius over here was 2x and height is kx. So I just substituted the value. Okay. So this is actually surface area. Let's simplify this. So you will have 2x square is 4 pi x square plus 4 pi x square plus 4 pi k x square. And we also have the value of k. So we can put this value over here. So the value of k is 4.5. So you can write this value over here. I think so. You can write, yeah, that's better. So if you write 4.5 over here. All right. So now 4 into 4.5, 4 into 4.5 will be equals to, let's do this. Yeah, it's 18. So it's 18 pi x square. All right. So now let's add these values. So you get 26 pi x square, and that is your answer for surface area. So you can check now. Do you have x square in the answer? Yes. Do you have pi in the answer? Yes. And we also have a constant over here, integer over here. So that is your answer. 26 pi x square. Okay, let's solve this. Now, this question 20 is related to vectors. So let's read the statement first. OPQ is a triangle and O is the origin. R is the point on OQ and OQ is equals to 3OR. So this is actually OQ. So this is actually OQ and this is equals to 3OR. So we can write 3 times 2B. So that is 6B. So this whole thing is actually 6B. And this thing will be 4B. All right. First thing you need to do is PR. You need to find out PR. Also, you have OP is equals to 3A, OR is equals to 2B. X is the midpoint of Q. PQ. This is also important. This X is the midpoint of. You need to find out PR. So that means you need to move from P to R. So we will go like this, P to R. So we are going in opposite direction. So the vector over here is 3A. So that will become minus 3A. So this will become minus 3A. And now we are following the arrow direction plus 2B. Minus 3A plus 2B. All right. Now let's solve RQ. So RQ is actually, we have already done this. RQ is actually 6B minus 2B. That is actually 4B. So in C part, you need to find out the position vector of X. All right. So you need to, what is the position vector of X? So that is actually OX. All right. So that means you need to move from O to X. You need to move from O to X. All right. So for this, you need to find out the value of XQ or you can find out the value of PX. So let's do this. So we already know that PR is actually minus 3A plus 2B. All right. Now let's find out the value of PQ first. Let's find out the value of PQ. Why we are finding the value of PQ? Because if we got the value of PQ, we can easily find out the value of any other thing. Like we can easily find out the value of PX or PQ that we need to find out. We can easily find out the value of PX or XQ. Okay. Now, how can we move from P to X? So this is P and this is Q. How can we move from P to Q? So we can go this way and then this way. So let's find out PQ first. So PQ is actually minus 3A plus 2B plus 4B. So that will be minus 3A plus 6B. So that is PQ. Now you can easily check that X is the midpoint and this whole thing is minus 3A plus 6b, and this whole thing is minus 3a plus 6b. All right, I'm just doing working over here so that I can copy and then paste it in the answer. All right, now what is px? So px is actually half of pq. Just do the half of these coefficients. So this will be minus 3 over 2a plus 6 half is 3b. So px is minus 3 by 2a plus 3b. All right, now so we need to find out, we can easily find out uh, ox now. We can easily find out ox now. Just move this way and then this way. All right, so now so p ox will be equals to, let's write it over here, op plus ox. And what is the value of op? The value of op is 3a, and value of sorry, op plus px, and this will be equals to, sorry, we have minus sign with px, so let's write 3 by a minus 3 by 2a plus 3b. Let's paste this working over here. Let's simplify this. Now we have actually 1 in this the denominator of this term, and then just multiply it with 2 so that you can make the denominator same. So because you have this term with coefficient a, so this term with variable a, so this will become actually 6a over 2 minus 3 over 2a plus 3b. So this will be 3 over 2a plus 3b, and that is your answer actually. Let's move to question number 21. So you need to write as a single fraction. So you need to make the denominator same over here. So what you can do over here, so you can multiply, let's write it here over here. So 2x plus 3 over x minus 1 minus 5x over 4 minus x. Now, how can we make their denominator same? Just multiply x minus 1 with 4 minus x and 4 minus x with x minus 1, and multiply in the numerator as well. Now expand the brackets in numerator and write the common denominator as it is. So you have minus sign over here between them, and just expand the brackets separately. Now this will produce 8x 2 times 4 is 8x minus 2x square plus 12 minus 3x. So that will be 5x square minus 5x. And now you have minus 2x square plus 5x plus 12 minus 5x square plus 5x over x minus 1 into 4 minus x. So this will be minus 7x square plus 10x plus 12. If you solve these two terms, you will get minus 7x square, and if you solve 5x and 5x, you will get 10x. And then in the denominator, we have x minus 1 into 4 minus x, and that is your answer. Okay. Let's move to next question. So now you can check that you have an exponential graph over here. So the diagram shows a sketch of the graph. So this is a graph, you can check that. And this is a graph of y is equals to ax plus b. And this graph passes through p and q. And the values are given over here. So you need to find out the values of a and b. So this is very easy question actually. Now the given function is actually y is equals to ax plus b. So you can check that you have two coordinates over here. So just put these values in this given function. So 5 will be equals to a power 0 plus b, and a power 0 is 1 plus b is equals to 5, and 5 minus 1 will be equals to 4. So b is actually 4. Now, so let's put these values. So 13 will be equals to 13 will be equals to a power 2 plus 4. So now, so 13 minus 4 is equals to a square, and then 9 will be equals to a square, and then take square root on both sides. So a will be equals to 3. So I just substituted these values. So I put 13 in the place of y and 2 in the place of x. So now the values are 3 and 4. Now the last part is yes, last part. Find the equation of asymptote of the graph. So I am very hopeful कि आप you know about the whole concept. But to find out the equation of asymptote for exponential graph is very easy. So actually the given function is now becomes y equal 3 power x plus 4. So any value that is with this exponential value, so any value that we have over here adding or subtracting, so that is asymptote. So the equation for asymptote is y is equals to 4. All right, so anything that you have over here is the equation of asymptote. Make sure to mention y as well. Now this is question number 23, and we have 27 power minus 4 over 3. So can you, and we have 9 over here, you can check that. So both of these number are factor of 3 comes in the table of 3. So you can write 3 power 3 in the place of 27 minus 4 over 3. And you can write 3 power 2 in the place of 9, and that you have x over here. So this will become 3 multiplied by minus 4 over 3, and this 3 and 3 will get cancelled, and this here we have 3 power 2x. So now we get 3 power minus 4 is equals to 3 power 2x. Now bases are same, so 2x will be equals to minus 4, and x will be equals to minus 4 over 2, and that will actually produce x is equals to minus 2. Let's move to the last question. Yeah, this is last question, and now you just need to expand the bracket. So if you multiply 3 with 2 square root 8, just multiply the number that is outside the square root, so it will become 6 square root 8. Now multiply 3 with minus 1. So this will be minus 3. Now multiply this thing. So this will become plus 10 square root 16. You need to multiply the number inside the square root as well, 8 and 2. Now the last term will be minus 5 square root 2. So 6, we can simplify square root 8 because 8 is 2 times 4, 2 times 2, and 2 times 1. And we can write 8 is equals to 2 power 2 multiplied by 2. So minus 3 plus 10 into square root 16 is 4 minus 5 into square root 2. So this will be 6 square and square root will get cancelled. So this will be 12 square root 2 minus 3 plus 40 minus 5 square root 2. And finally you will get uh, 40 minus 3 plus 40. This will become 37 plus 12 minus 5 is 7. So this will become 7 square root 2. And this is your answer. Hopefully you understand all the things we discussed in this video. So if you have any confusion, so you can drop comments below. All right, so that's all for today. Students, take care. Goodbye. Okay, so let's do question number 5. So in question number 5, the scale drawing shows the position of two villages A and B. The scale is 2 centimeter to 1 kilometer. So please remember this. The scale is 2 centimeter to 1 kilometer. All right. Now, what we are supposed to do in this question, form C. So we have two villages A and B over here. Two villages A and B over here. Farm C is 4 kilometer from village A and 2.5 kilometer from village B. All right. Now farm C is 4 kilometer from village A. So if we represent it in centimeters, so 1 kilometer is representing 2 centimeters. So 4 kilometer will be representing 8 centimeter. And now 2.5 kilometer means 5 centimeter. Now farm C is 8 centimeter from village A and 5 centimeter from village B. Now what we are supposed to do, we need to open compass till 8 centimeter. We will draw an arc over here. Now we need to open compass till point 8 centimeter. Let's do that. And we will put compass at point A, and now we will draw an arc over here. So this will be the arc. All right. And now farm C is 5 centimeter. You can check that 5 centimeter from village B. Now we need to open the compass till point till 5 centimeter. Now we will put our compass at point B and we will draw an arc over here. Now the point of intersection of these two curves is actually village C, and this is point C. All right, now we are done with 3 mark question. Now you need to measure the bearing of farm C from village A. All right, so that means you need to measure the bearing of C from A, and you can check that at A point you already have north, and now you need to measure this angle, and let's join this with scale. So now this one is the angle that you are supposed to find. Let's put the compass over here. Now you can check that it's approximately 100 degree. It's approximately 100 degree.